goes. Success confuses a lot of people because they don't know what to do once they're very successful. Howdy, hey everyone. This is Wilkin speaking. It is a lovely, beautiful Monday. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Sun Simon. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's a very helpful app. It's helped me, so we can get some stuff done. And all you gotta do, 14-day free trial. Thank y'all so much for. I was at 124, but 129 subscribers. Wow, y'all are amazing. Thank y'all so much. And I've uploaded some content on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, bleh, and of course Yahoo. So yes, I'm back to uploading content on Yahoo. I just have to make some content there. So a lot of the Instagram reels are pretty much done for now, and then I'll make more afterwards. So whew. Last night was forgettable. I'm not gonna lie, it was very forgettable. The only thing that I remember was shower, having two nice talks, and that was that. And then there was something that happened with someone. So again, we're just gonna take a moment of silence. May your souls rest in peace. So, but yeah, like I said, life happens when we least expect it. And also, we're dealing with folks that are literally hammering in on two things. The Snow White movie, which I'm going to be real with you, is just mixed. It's not the worst thing ever. Everyone says it's the worst Disney movie ever. It's honestly just mixed. I can't think of the worst Disney movie per se because it's kind of tough to do so. Like, I have a soft spot for the Disney sequels because, they at least tried. My favorite being the Cinderella sequels and, of course, Mulan, too. Freaking love that movie. Um, so, yeah, and of course, the Toy Story sequels because those are pretty good. So, despite the issues that they all pose and have when it comes to writing, everything, and direction. But all in all, it's been good. The only thing that I wish I would have done was get enough sleep and played Bleach Rebirth of Souls last night. Because that would have been better than what I dealt with last night. Also, I have some video ideas that I'm probably going to work on soon. Got some stuff to do with like the wrestling role play. So honestly, I'm pretty excited about that. I'll be able to get that done, and then afterwards, I'm just gonna work on some stuff, get caught up with exercise and everything. So but other than that, um, life's been good. I've been good. I had some city bird, which was delicious. It's been pretty cold lately. I mean, that's just spring weather, so that's just pretty much a given. But yeah, um, Saturday was great. Sunday was just oof, that was something. But anywho, let me go ahead and pull up this video honestly because the one thing that a lot of people are talking in the gaming realm is Assassin's Creed Shadows, and shit. Oh, Venom from is finally released for Guilty Gear Strive. So if you still care about that, cool. And there's also a DLC character being released for Under Night in Birth 2. Technically speaking, if I'm correct, this would be the last character. And unfortunately, this also means this is it for Under Night in Birth. I mean, to be fair, it's been around for 10 years. It's hard to believe that this is it. This is it. And there'll be no more Under Night in Birth. It's really hard to believe because Under Night in Birth is a really great game series. Sad that say it wasn't widely known, but yeah. I'm just checking out some news real quick before we go ahead and get. Oh, here's some good news. It's from an article from VenHubs.com. John Catalyst Ray. Three major fighting games all share the same universe now. And you know what? That's fantastic. Three of the greatest games, fighting games of all time, now share the same universe, and it only took 30 plus years. So that's it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Iron Saga versus what's this? I think wait, is that one game? Did I... Oh yeah, that game. So yeah, Iron Saga versus that game that came out. What is it? 3 days ago. It's out and it's pretty much 15% off. So you better hurry to get this game. Me personally, I will probably just wait for updates on DLC and everything. Because again, you know how these fighting games are. They're just going to keep releasing DLC, and so let's see. So let me go ahead and find this real quick because I found this to be pretty funny. But you know, longest in-game credits ever. So so I'm trying to see because everyone's saying Assassin's Creed has like the longest game credits, but I want to see if that's actually true. So I'm gonna look this up real quick. Broken Sword 5 had the longest credits ever for 10 years ago at 46 minutes and 15 seconds. Um, but at first it was Modern Warfare 3 that had 21 minutes worth of credits. Sonic Colors Ultimate had 29 minutes 23 seconds. Uh, Resident Evil 4 37 minutes and 50 seconds, 29 minutes. So according to this, it's not really it's not really all that uncommon for AAA games to have the longest credits. Watch Dogs Legion had a credits of 1 hour and 1 minute 30 seconds. So it seems to me that so far the Assassin's Creed Shadows has broken a record for the longest credits, which is 2 hours. And that is just borderline unacceptable. There's nothing that you can do. So for those of you that are just beyond confused whether this is true or not, it is. And someone was nice enough to upload it in 4K. Now, does it play the music? And it doesn't need to play the music. So, according to this, Ubisoft is known for having the longest in-game credits. But why? Also, the Minecraft movie will be released next week, which is interesting. Uh, and there's already predictions about the movie. So I don't know what to expect, but I expect the movie to be, and this is just me being nice, slightly above average. So nothing too major, nothing where it's like, oh, this is terrible. Because I have yet to find a movie that is worse than Madame Web, the Power Rangers 2017 movie, except the last 30 minutes, and some of the worst movies that Cinema Snob and Nostalgia Critic have talked about. So, in a way, I'm still like trying to find that, but I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like people just they got a mouth, so they got to use it. You know, that's just me personally. So, uh, we have a mouth; it's beautiful, but sometimes we just don't know how to just button it. Sometimes. So, as an elder once said, folks just like to complain. So right now I'm downloading this. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And once that's done, we'll go ahead and have that play in the background. You have something to react to. Let's see, download longest in-game credits ever history. Oh, only 306 megabytes. All right, it's done. Eh, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I was going to have to wait like 2 minutes, but no. Sometimes us older folks, we just have to realize that technology has definitely, indeed, improved. But we got to stop acting like, oh, it hasn't improved. It's got worse. No, 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 no. It's actually getting better. It's actually getting better than we least expected. So here we go. It's that. There it is. The longest in-game credits. There's no uh, music or anything. Is there? I don't know. I can't see it. Yeah, there's no music. So all right. So I'm gonna check on my dog, make sure she's okay. But don't worry. I still got you know got something for you all, and I got lots of you know pre-recorded topics. So I hope you all enjoyed. The first one, I think you all enjoy. So we'll do one, two, three, and maybe we'll do a two-part to this one. So y'all enjoy, grab y'all snacks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please type it out in the comments because I'm gonna go check on my dog. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, it's me again. I just want to do not a vent, but just a discussion. I'll make this real quick because I really need to skim through these 10 articles so that way I can read the 40, the rest of the, on my way to work. When you are dealing with people that say they want to do something for you, I want to just give you 5 indications that they are determined that they want to do something for you and that they care. Number one, if they really want to do something for you, they will be there early. Anyone that wants to get something done for you, they will write it down and they will be there early. They will be there 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early. Doesn't matter, what country you're in. They will be there early. They will make sure that they have eaten. They'll make sure that they look nice. They will be there early. And even with VR, they will be there early. They'll have everything taken care of and they will make time for you. People who truly care about you no matter how busy they are, will make time for you, and they will completely wipe parts of their schedule that's not important so they can have that time for you. So always remember that. It's number one. Number two, they will not make any excuses. Oh, this happened. No. If they're late, they will apologize and they will reschedule. Stuff happens. Anything happen. Car accidents, family, situations. That stuff happens. It can even happen on that day. But as long as they communicate, say, look, this happened, I apologize, let's reschedule for this day. There you go. That's someone that really is trying to work with you. They will apologize if they're late. Number three, they're determined. Okay? They will remind you and say, hey, I just want to, let you know, are we still down for blah, blah, blah. And if you say yes or no, that gives them confirmation. So they're determined. They will make sure, hey, we're going to get this done. It could be a meetup. It could be a date. It could be I don't care what it is, what y'all do behind the scenes. I don't care if it's something freaky. Listen, I don't care. It's just that communication is very effective. Number four, they will never ghost you. They will never ghost you. And they'll never ignore you. So someone that ignores you, even after you told them several times, that they're trying to tell you a nice way, I'm not interested. So don't ever ask again. But if they ask you, give them the same treatment. And watch. The next time that you ask them, they're going to reply back, oh, yeah, let's do it. Because you're teaching them how to respect you. If they ignore you or they ghost you, they don't care. They're not interested. Keep it moving, pal. And last but not least, when you're dealing with someone that says they want to do something for you, and and they really want to get this done, last but not least, and I'm going to have to take a deep breath for this one. They will give you feedback after it's done. So once all of that's done and everything, they will give you feedback. Hey, I really enjoyed this. I had fun. Let's do it again. Or hey, I enjoyed this. Or hey, I'm going to be real with you. I didn't have fun. Let's not do this again, but we can still hang out. They'll give you some type of feedback, okay? So understand that, and I deal with this all the time with folks that say, I want to add you on Xbox and Steam. I love these people. I love these people all the time. I love them with every fiber of my being. I want to play games. They send me a message then. You don't need my permission. You send me a DM. You say, hi, how are you? You want to play a game? And I say, sure. And we do it and we hop on. It's not that hard. And the person expects you to do it all the time. You can forget it. It's not going to work. I have so many folks on my friends list, right? From Xbox, Steam, and whatnot. And not a single one of them DMs me and asks, do you want to play a game? Well, I didn't want to disturb you. Really? Just send me a DM. Just send me a DM, talk to me, and we'll schedule a day to play games. It's not that hard. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. So for all of you folks that are lonely and you want some alone time with someone, and someone DMs you and they say that they want to do something with you, test them. Test them. Oh, and one more thing, you have to give them a date. Do not tell folks you have all the time in the world. Give them 2 dates. This date, this time, see you then. If you don't do that, you're not going to see them. If you don't, you're just not going to see them. Not a lot of people are mature, okay? So if you don't give them a date and a time, they're not going to do it. Me, if someone tells me, hey, I'll see you sometime Monday, I would just say, can you give me a time range? A lot of people don't like giving specific times, and I get it because things happen. Give them a time range. And during that time range, set a time for yourself of what you need to do. And then while you're waiting on them, bam, there you go. So there you have it. So this will prevent you from getting your feelings hurt and whatnot from people. Now you know. If they care, they'll commit. If they don't care, they won't. Oh, and they'll never make you have to feel like you have to constantly keep coming to them over and over again. I don't want to hear no, I got memory problems. I got memory problems. I have short-term memory loss. Write it down. If you truly care, you will make the effort to do it. If you don't care, don't ghost them. Just say, sorry, I can't. That's just so rude. Anyway, y'all have a good one. this is just a little bit of a rare rant for me. And I've noticed this in a lot of Discord servers, and I'm just going to say this right now. Venting channels are pointless. Again, it's coming from someone who's been in Discord for over 10 years, and I can tell you right now, they are pointless and they do not help. All venting channels do is just help a person vent out their frustrations, but who is there to actually go in there and actually talk with the person through a private DM and whatnot? I feel like that's what needs to be done. So here's my solution how to make these venting channels better. Personally, if you see someone is venting, immediately request if they want someone to talk about it, with one of the mods via a DM. Just saying, hey, I understand you're frustrated, this about life, it sucks, whatever. Would you like for a mod or me, we could pick a day and time to talk about this in private? Because what people don't understand is when you have something like that, you give that person, especially if they are not taking their medicine, or if they're drunk, or if they're just having the worst day ever, they're just going to say whatever. And if your Discord server has minors in it, oh boy, this is why I say venting channels there should be like 2 venting channels if you want to open up a Discord server for both, for everyone and for 18 plus. You'd have one for just for the kids and the teenagers, and one for the adults, because completely different situations. I don't care how emotionally intelligent that child or teenager is, they cannot handle fully what an adult goes through, because it's completely different mentally. So when an adult says I have a bad day, right, their bad day can consist of being fired, having suicidal thoughts, wanting to cut themselves, wanting to literally murder someone. Whereas when it comes to a kid or teenager, it could be something as I got bullied, or I'm dealing with, sexual assault, from a family member. And while it may seem like the two may be the same or similar, they're not. Because you just don't know, like, the emotional intelligence of certain people. Some may take it off the deep end and say stuff like, nobody cares about me anymore, I'm tired of being here, da 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 da. Versus someone who is mature and will just state stuff like, hey man, this is just how I'm feeling, this is just what I gotta say. And you gotta understand that when it comes to venting, there is no professional way or logical way of doing it, because when you're venting, you're letting your emotions get out. That's why people have to be very careful for opening channels like that. But from personal experience, I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't work. Because all what people will do is they will find ways to calm you down. Oh, it's okay, it's gonna get better, versus hearing you out. What I would do is I would hear the person out saying, I'm sorry it happened, we can talk about it if you like, what's really going on. Now, if it's something petty, then it's like, okay, yeah, shut that down. But if it's something that's serious, like, this is why I'm leaving so many groups and so many Discord servers, because I swear they're not prepared for this stuff. They assume that nothing will ever happen. This is why I do not like being in servers and groups, and I never have, because it's like I always think about, but what if this happens? But what if this happens? What's the plan of action for this? What's the plan? None. At least in my job, there's a plan of action for everything. If this resident acts up, this is what we do. If they have a psychiatric episode, this is what we do. If they have a seizure, this is what we do. They have a plan. If, an RSW falls sick, this is what's the plan. They have a plan. And that's rare for me to go into a job where a job just has a plan of action. Like, they have plan of actions, but they don't have like a plan of action for everything. My job technically has a plan of action for literally everything. Like, heck, next week I'm going to be participating in my, my CPR first aid class. It stinks that I have to, of course, pay to, get a ride home, but it doesn't matter, because it's a mandatory course and it's needed. So, CPR first aid saves lives. It's just I just don't understand the logic or the purpose of these groups anymore. This is why I'm serious. I want to make a freaking like old school, wrestling Jesus type rant saying 10 reasons why Discord servers suck, like all in general, because they all fall within the same trap. And this is why I have my Discord server. And I'm trying to like prevent that stuff from happening. But it's like one of the biggest things that always annoy me with Discord servers is people are selective of who they want to talk to. Excuse me? Isn't the point of a Discord server is to welcome everyone? What's with this exclusivity? I mean, that's why I left certain Discords like yesterday. I was like, why do you have me in this server and no one's going to either want to try to talk to me or get to know me? Like, I'm sorry, but isn't the point of like a community server is for people to get to know one another? Now, here's a Discord server that gets this right. Anti-Mafia in the time of spirits. Now those Discord servers, they get it. You talk to people, they want to get to know you, they want to know more about you. Those servers rock. Like, oh my goodness. And the creator is just amazing. I mean, heck, when he was down and out, his whole community came and encouraged him, and he started producing content. And he doesn't treat people like a number, like I see from like a lot of these other content creators. Like, oh, you're just a number, you're just a fan, like Kendra Moore says, you're a fan. Like, when I see, content creators start using pet names and stuff like that, I'm out. See, at first I thought, oh, that's cute, they're just being... No, you're treating me like a freaking object instead of a person. I'm out. Now, I get that. What I mean by that is content creators can do it, but it's like when they start acting a certain way towards their fans or followers, I'm gone. Because I know where that's going to lead to. Again, this is what happens when you deal with someone with PTSD, man. We develop some type of level of intelligence that is even beyond our comprehension and understanding. Now, some people are, whoa, you're just being paranoid. You're just being alarmist. As one person, you're just being alarmist. Yeah? Well, this alarmist has helped a lot of people get out of sticky situations. And the thing is, I'm not an alarmist. I'm just someone that's just a visionary, and I see this stuff from a mile away. And it sucks. I wish sometimes I was like other people that can just sit there and be like, this is fine. But when that gut instinct tells you something is wrong, leave, get out. Like, I mean this when I say this. I make sure that any server that I'm in, I avoid family-friendly content. I avoid anything that says family-friendly. If I see the word family-friendly, I'm gone. Because that's a lie. It's a lie. It's the biggest lie. I want to believe it's true, but it's a lie. It's a freaking, oh, we are an SFW family-friendly. Goodbye. I'm gone. If I see the words family-friendly or SFW, I am leaving. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm not dealing with that. It's fake. It's fake. Now, there are some that are SFW that are true, right? Like Anti-Mafia, Time of Spirits. Those are exceptions. But when I see someone that's really trying to push, now, you can't say that. No, don't do that. It's like you're talking to grown adults and you're treating them like children. Like, oh, okay, I got a story for y'all. And I'll get back to the venting part, I promise. So, I have folks that get super frustrated, right? If I even dare just, like to ask them, hey, it's been like 2-3 months, are you okay? How come you haven't been talking to the server? I've been doing a lot of stuff. Leave me alone. And it's just like, now, if I remember correctly, you were the one that was begging to be in my server. Well, yeah, your server's boring. There's nothing that happens. Well, what would you like to do? Well, let's do game nights. I'll do game nights and stuff like that. And guess what? Nobody will show up. Well, you didn't do it in my time. I mean, what's the point of Discord servers and community groups if you're not going to do anything with your community? Like, help me make it make sense, please. If you can help me make this make sense, I'll be quiet. I won't say anything about Discord servers anymore. It's just, if I had to ask, like, what were the best Discord servers I've ever been in? I would say only 5% of the 100+ Discord servers I'm in were actually good. Do you want to know how many of those servers are within that 5%? Less than 20. Less than 20. Do you know how sad that is? Within the 10 years I've been on Discord, only less than 20 Discord servers. This is also including servers from content creators were actually good and welcoming to me. Out of the 200+ that I was in, and I would say maybe I got kicked from less than 10 and banned from 1. It's 2 actually. It's ridiculous how these folks act like this server is my kingdom. I am the king. I am the queen. The egos of these people is beyond understanding. It's mental illness to the nth degree. And it's like, oh shoot, I deal with this at my IRL job, so this shouldn't be a shock to me. So, it's like, but I'm just trying to wake people up when it comes to Discord, because I've always had my I won't say, like, my hatred for this app since day one, but I've always had my suspicions of the creation of Discord. And, like, just when I ever find out that this app just bursts into flames, I may celebrate. And I know that's childish, but I may freaking celebrate, because this app has done nothing but give me turmoil and pain and suffering. And it's just, I never thought the day that I would say that I detest this app more than Facebook. Facebook. Don't make me say that Facebook wasn't as bad. But at least with Facebook, it was a little bit more organized. Discord is just a absolute mess. And how they just love to push nitro. But anyway, back to the venting part. So that's just the issue that I have with the venting channels is people vent, but nothing's really done about it. You're gonna need like some special mods in those venting channels to monitor it and talk to people and provide help and tips in YouTube videos or whatnot. You can't just let a bunch of people go in there and vent, because it's going to be a mess. The things that I read in these venting channels, it's real, man. And I emphasize with every single one of these folks. But do not ever vent in an SFW server. Don't ever do it. I did that one time, and it was the worst mistake of my life. And it's from a VTuber and they don't like you. Just because they don't like you, you're just gone. Goodbye. You're just gone. If you ever want to know how fake a person is, man, then one rule in their Discord server, just one on purpose, and see how they act. If they start going berserk on you, if they start yelling at you, cussing you out, wishing you death, that's how that person is IRL. They're not playing a character anymore. They are showing you who they are. Sometimes I have to test it a little bit, like, let me just type this just to see if they're going to act a certain way. And if they start treating me funny and differently, then there you go. Sometimes people do it to me all the time just to see if I'm a real friend or not, and I always pass the test. Because you want to know why? Because I know their game. Because I'm about to deal with people that be like, oh, you failed the test. Like I said, man, I dealt with so much nonsense throughout my childhood. A lot of good memories, a lot of good moments, but nonsense from people. So, but anyway, here's my solution for these venting channels. You need to have specific mods that know what they're doing, can keep their cool, and can actually guide people from allowing them to express themselves, but to get to the point. Venting can be dangerous if you just constantly keep doing it, to the point where you don't keep track of time. I used to do it. When I was in my 20s, when I was still frustrated about, my father and a lot of stuff in the world, I would vent for almost an hour or two. And of course, I would educate myself and do research to make sure it's not like a complete waste of my time. But nonetheless, you have to be careful. You don't want to sit there and vent and whatnot, and then there goes your day. Your day is really beautiful, Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but you can always look at the sky. You can always look at the birds. You can always just Look at the food that you're eating. There's always something positive in this world, that you can look at and marvel at. So it's unreal, man. It's unreal that someone like me, who society will look at as, oh, blah, 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 but yet I have more common sense than a lot of these folks who have 100,000 subscribers. It's just, it blows my mind, man. It really blows my mind how society will deceive you into thinking that you are the worst of the worst human being. But then that same person years later that you met turns out to be an actual horrible person. And you're just like, I'm glad I'm not friends with them anymore. It's like, but why did I have to go through all of that and suffer? And then some unknown YouTuber who just happens to be an uprising star exposes this one person, and all of a sudden I feel better about myself. Like, no, I don't want to live in that cycle. It's crazy. Just to see someone get their just comeuppance. I don't want to be around to see it. That's just where I'm at in life. I don't want to be around to see when folks be like, did you know what that one person did? The one that treat you like crap? Yeah, that person got arrested. And I'm just like, I don't care, man. Like, that's just where I'm at with people. I do not care. Yeah, that person treat me like a piece of garbage, but I would not wish that on them. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I'm saying. You need to have those who at least know a little bit about psychology or a little bit about human decency, so that way they can help people through it. It's not just, oh, I'm sorry that this happened. Because you're dealing with the world. This is what I don't understand about people. So now I'm going to point it exactly at you all. Yes, you. I know I'm breaking the rule here about what you're not supposed to do to your viewers, but I'm going to do this because this needs to be said. I dealt with this for 10 years. Why join a Discord server, right, and not even bother interacting? Now, I'm guilty as charged with this, but what I mean by that is, what's the point of Discord servers if people don't even bother to interact with one another? And if that person's not interacting, at least, reach out to the person and say, hey, are you okay? I remember I had some people do that for me in the past. They would reach out to me and say, hey, I know you haven't been active. Are you okay? And I'll say, hey, I'm sorry, man. I've just been busy. Let me go check, see what's going on. That shows that you care about your community. Now, of course, if you're a big dog, then you can forget it. You're just going to have to deal with people leaving and saying bad things about your server because that's just the way it is. You just going to have to deal with people talking crap about your server because it's too big. Discord, of course, is trying to do everything that they can to help keep servers alive. There's tons of videos that are extremely helpful, but at the end of the day, you're just aiming for something that really shouldn't be aimed for in the first place. You're trying to keep something that's alive in hopes that it'll be recognized and you'll make a bunch of money. I really don't understand this at all. It's very strange to me. And, it's funny how people call me weird, but I'm the one who seems to deal with the biggest weirdos of all time. I'm talking about, really terrible, nasty people. But if I'm like Courage the Cowardly Dog, say, no one ever believes me. It's like no one ever believes me that this person is off the rocker until it's too late. Then I'm just sitting here, like Courage saying, I know I'm not gonna like this. So that's why Courage the Cowardly Dog is one of my favorite cartoon characters, because I feel him. I feel for him. You're trying to tell these silly people, hey, there's danger. Hey, don't do this. But you're an alarmist. You're someone that doesn't know what they're talking about. You're doom and gloom. But as soon as it happens, oh, they're not alarmists. They was just trying to warn me. What's wrong with people, man? But yeah, man, I listen, one of my biggest regrets on Discord is joining servers and just expecting something. I don't know what I was expecting. I joined servers because I want to show my support and love and care, and what do I get? I get slapped in the face. Now, that's not with everyone. There are some folks that I've met that are actually pretty sweet and kind and genuine. There was one person that added me just out of the blue. They wanted to talk to me, and because I didn't meet their expectations, they just stopped talking to me. I do not understand these people for the life of me. And then there's folks that are like, well, I only reach out to people that reach out to me. And I'm like, okay, I understand that, but it's like, Discord just sucks, man. I hate this app. I hate this app, man. I really, really hate this app. I really do. The only good use that Discord has is being utilized with VR chat. That's its only purpose, just to be utilized with other apps. It's just a pointless garbage app. It's terrible, and I will just be one of the few that will just wave my flag like Uncle Ruckus and, you know, I hate Discord. I hate Discord. Seriously, I hate that app with a passion. And this has come from someone that used to love Discord. They used to really be passionate about Discord. I want to make a Discord server. I had to spend hours studying how to make a Discord server because nobody would bother to teach me how to do it. So I had to figure a lot of stuff out myself. And it's just tiresome. I cannot stand Discord servers. I hate Discord domestic system. I hate it. And you want to know what all of this is just turned into? Me advertised in my TikTok that I just posted. So you should check it out, where I talk about how much I hate Discord. Surprisingly enough, it has over, what, I think over a couple hundred views. So I should pay to promote that because I really just want to showcase how much I hate this app. Like I hate it with such a burning passion. And you have no idea. 10 years of holding that in, man. I really cannot tell you enough how much I despise that app. Like, oh, if I hear the news, ever since I watched that one video that exposed everything that's wrong with that app, and it's been 10 years and the security features are still garbage, and all I keep seeing in announcements is, this person get breached, and this happened, and everything. It's just like, can someone please just make a better version of Discord? Like, I'll take anything. I don't care. They can call it Pukaku. Pukaku. I'll be on Pukaku. Alright? Oh my god. Someone needs to figure out what Discord does wrong, make an alternative, and let it blow up. I thought Telegram was the one, but then Telegram started having these premium features, and then that was that. But nonetheless, go back to the venting situation. So have folks that actually monitor the channel and have them talk to them with empathy, not sympathy, and then offer DMs. And then afterwards, you have to calm that person down, because if you don't calm that person down, they are going to do this. They're going to constantly spam the venting channel, spam the venting channel, spam, spam, spam. And some of us are guilty of this. But that's only because nobody is taking the time to pay attention to that person and listen to them. That's why I'm saying it has to take a team. Not one person, a team of people to do this. I get so tired sometimes when I go into venting channels and I feel like everyone's personal little, unlicensed, therapist just, that's not even getting paid, by the way, just giving all this advice and whatnot, because it's just, it gets annoying and tiring. I don't like how I look. Go work out then. I can't, only have one leg. No excuse. Do what you can. At least work on your core. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's why it's called work out. I'm about to end it all. One thought that keeps going through your head. I'm ugly. Just reverse it with positive thoughts. I can't because this person did this and they hurt me. And I'm like, okay, you need to forgive that person. Screw you, I'm not forgiving them. Then you need to follow these steps. I'm not doing that. Well, I gave you the tips, so hopefully that helps. It's just, and so yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much my best advice. I could literally help people with their Discord service, but unfortunately my advice doesn't promote growth. It promotes safety. So safety doesn't promote growth. It's being cool and hip and doing what everyone else is doing and adding all these silly events. That's what promotes growth. It's so backwards. But the moment something bad happens, then you have the big VTuber, don't see percent, prevent a problem before it becomes a problem. Like I made a mistake where I put a bun in the microwave and almost caused a fire, almost. But then a resident came and saved the day, spoke up, helped me out, I apologize to everyone that was there. And guess what? My job didn't think nothing of it. Because it's happened before. And trust me, will it ever happen again? No, because I don't want to deal with that again. It was a lesson I had to learn, you know? I didn't beat myself up about it. I picked myself up and moved on, you know? It is what it is. It's just, like, I respect people that at least apologize and humble themselves, because that's why I remain humble, because you never know what something bad may happen to you, and then you may be put in that position where you're going to have to apologize over and over again. You know what I mean? So that's why it's just, goodness, man. But that's just Discord for you, man. It's just an app that makes millions upon millions. I won't be surprised if this app makes billions of dollars. This app probably makes billions and billions of dollars, and they could care less about people's safety. They could care less about what goes on. Oh, we monitor servers. Yeah, y'all monitor servers, all right. Sure. It says in your terms of service you monitor servers. Do you really? Do you really? Because if you notice all the nonsense that goes on people's servers, if you actually notice, I don't know, the amount of good people that get bullied and harassed in those servers and how they get treated. Yeah. You monitor the servers, all right. Yeah, you need to start monitoring these streaming servers. That's what y'all need to do. Especially these family-friendly servers. You need to monitor those like on a yearly basis and see what actually goes on, because it's just uh, Discord. Discord. You suck. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, if you love Discord, you think it's one of the best apps ever. You never dealt with anything. Listen, I applaud you. I'm happy for you, and I wish you nothing but the best in life. Anyone that ever listens to people like me who just get their frustrations out in a funny but educational manner, or in a way that that just, I guess, helps people just to have some type of realization, and you're just like, I've never been through that. Good for you, man. We don't want you to go to it. Like, that's the thing that people don't understand. Like, I've never been through that. Good. Don't ever go to it. Don't ever be in the same situation that I'm in. Like, that's the thing. We don't want you to go through it. Like, oh man, but these family friendly servers, these family friendly groups, man, can get out of my eyes. It's fake. All of them are fake. Not all of them, but a large chunk of them are fake. Like, seriously, think about it. When it comes to like all this drama with VR chat and Discord, what's the one type of group that always gets exposed? The family friendly groups. Yes. Seriously, go back and watch some of those videos if you bother to do that. It's always the family friendly groups. And it's like I'm sorry, but that's just like, when I see that, I'm like, I'm out. This server strictly SFW, and this is where I say goodbye. Now, like SFW, it's like, okay, I'm not putting up with that stuff anymore. People tell me, join my server. No, I don't want to join your server. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with folks' attitudes. I don't want to deal with people, being rude and nasty to me for no reason. I just don't want to deal with it. And that is my right. That is my choice. My pro-choice. I don't want to deal with it. Maybe 20-year-old me would have been like, oh, Discord, this is great. I want to go back in time and slap the silly out of myself. And I'm like, really? I am so tempted to just pay to promote, to get that TikTok out there, because I want people to understand how much I hate Discord with a passion, so people will know. Don't invite me to Discord. Don't do that. Like, I just want to make that message perfectly clear that I hate Discord, and it's funny. Email is still superior. I think I've only had like some issues like spam and whatnot, but email to me is just superior. I like email. Email, you deal with some nonsense, block, done. It's so easy, but email is too hard. Email is this, email is that. I get it. Email could be a lot more organized. I'm still looking for the perfect email app, honestly, that's just organizes everything and just detects some automatically spam, put it as spam. And I know that they're doing the best they can, but I swear, if they ever get rid of email and they force us to use Discord, I'm exiling myself off of social media. I'm serious. I'm not. I don't want to deal with that. I can't, man. I can't. I don't want to do. I don't want to deal with Discord, man. It's too much. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's tiring. and it overall just it gets on my nerves. But anyway, yeah, venting channels and Discord servers, complete waste of time. They need to be utilized better. A lot of them need to be utilized better. Like, call me the Discord server critiquer. Like, I will literally give you a long list of things that could make a Discord server better and safer. But again, no one's gonna listen to me because it doesn't produce results. But it can save you from dealing with drama. But see, people love servers that are active, but they don't like when the server is dead, and then they make memes about servers being dead. But it's just like I said, man. People will be people. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Hi everyone. Today is Monday. Monday fun day. For some of you, it's Monday. Ugh, because probably just got back from working a morning shift or just got back from school. So I completely understand. So I just want to go ahead and give you all a quick update. I have decided that for the whole month starting in April, I am just staying away from any and all VR groups. I'm not going to be in any events. I'm not going to be in any party worlds. I am literally detoxing myself from VR groups in general, which means that also during this month, there will be no Paul and Hooves events at all. I have been doing Paul and Who events since it first started, and I just need a month break. I don't want to do them, in April. April needs to be the month where I need to lock in and get a lot of things done. So when I come back in May, I will have a lot more better and more effective. Well, sorry, that's not the word. A lot more vibrant announcements instead of just what you all constantly keep hearing on a daily basis. Just, I do this, this, and this, and this. And there's a reason for that. My dog, even though she is still healthy and whatnot, is not able to eat as much and is having days where she throws up and then she's fine. She's having days where she throws up and then she's fine. She can eat. And so I'm not sure what's going on with her. She's perfectly fine, but maybe it's just her stomach. Maybe she just can't eat a bunch of food anymore. So that's been puzzling me quite a bit. But yeah, I feel refreshed. I did some research, did my studies. My body was aching a lot lately, so I don't know what was going on with that. Took a nice shower and treat myself out to some City Bird, and it was actually pretty delicious. And I also had this organic shake with the lime jelly. It's light or lime. I can't tell if it's one of those two. I can't remember, but it's really good. And I honestly wanted another one. I should have ordered two, but then that would have brought my bill from $40 total to $50 because I ordered the food, and that because I forgot to pack myself, a lot of food for work. So yeah, work. Yesterday is just a day I really don't want to talk about. It was tiring, it was frustrating, and there's a particular individual that I hope that I never see again because they're one of the main reasons why I felt the way that I did last night. I was also at the Toe Bean meetup. Listen, we're adults here, and if you're not, and if you are a minor, please shield your ears for only 2 minutes. And, well, I just didn't care. I just didn't care to enjoy myself. I just didn't care to talk to people. I just didn't care to deal with the person who called me weird or whatever. I just didn't care. After once an hour hit, I wanted to leave. I just wanted to leave. I overheard, what was it? One of the co-owners and whatnot, the group stating that the reason why a lot of people aren't here is because there was a big event for all the Paul lovers. Doesn't matter because it's not like anybody's gonna actually want to talk to me there. So waste of my time. VR groups are a waste of my time, and I just don't really see the point of them anymore. I try to be that sociable, lovable pony individual, and it's just like no matter what I do, it's like I'm talking to a bunch of AI driven, brain dead, brain rot 20-year-olds. And I'm just tired of it. So I'm not saying all of them are like that, but just a majority of them. Or they're just incredibly horny. So it's tiring. So I want a break from that. Okay, minors, even though I don't know why you consistently want to be in my streams or like my chats, you can go ahead and take your fingers, hopefully you wash your hands, out of your ears. So that topic will not be brought up. I wonder that's why I probably didn't get, invited to be a part of the Rappers of Anchor, content creators team because I talk about stuff like that, even though they really know that they're fan base. I'm just going to be quiet. Anyway, so enough about all of that, because that's not really important. What's really important is food. Food. Remember when you went to your favorite restaurant, and I know I talked about this before, but it's just strange to me how people just forget about how food used to taste back then. And how we just really didn't care what we were putting in our bodies as long as we exercised and ate our large bowl of fruit and vegetables. And it's just like nowadays, when you eat this food, it just doesn't feel right. And it's not just for us young old heads, as people like to call me these days. It's with the youth. Even the youth doesn't see McDonald's, Burger King, or whatnot as exciting. If they were to get a promotion, like a promotional offer from set companies, there's just no excitement or hype anymore. Back in the day, you had a promotional offer from McDonald's or Burger King, man, you were at the top of the world. Holy crud, someone from McDonald's or Burger King want to, come to your house and take a picture with you while pretty much posing with the most delicious looking burger ever. Man, those were the days. Now it's like, I don't know what's going on with the youth these days, but I don't think it's just them being ungrateful. I think it's just they've seen it already, and now it's just nothing to them. If their favorite streamer or star or whatever just knocked on their door, giving words of encouragement, and they took a picture with them, and they spend the whole day with them, they'll be extremely happy, but then afterwards, they're just not. I mean, it's very strange. And again, this is the majority, not everyone. So, going back to the topic of the restaurants, I just think that because we're dealing with this new generation that just doesn't care about the well-being of people nor themselves, that it just deteriorates the excitement of hearing something about Arby's or McDonald's or any restaurant, not just restaurants, just corporations in general. This just comes to show that your attitude really does make a big determinant on whether or not you succeed or not, because I don't know. And listen, I can kind of get where they're coming from when you learn all these horrible truths about McDonald's fries and their burgers. So then it made people want to go to Burger King, and you realize that Burger King is just as bad, but not just as terrible as McDonald's health-wise. Then there's Penn Station with us. So it's like, what do people to do? So the doctors pretty much hear about this, and they eat at these restaurants, and they're just like, just don't eat in moderation. So that's just the thing now. Just eat in moderation. So then what happens when you do eat in moderation, and then all of a sudden at one time you get sick? So then you develop trauma from that one restaurant. You don't ever want to eat there again. It's like when I go do DoorDash, it's like, I have to really, really be cautious now. There was a time when I ordered at DoorDash and everything was just delicious. Now you just have no idea what you're going to get, and you're scared and you're nervous because it's like, well, what if this makes me sick? Or what if this kills me? It's like, these are the type of thoughts that now run through people's heads, and now they're being careful and cautious. And what if someone spit in my food, or what if someone pissed in? It's like you just don't know, and you just have this paranoia because you hear about it on the news, and now you can't get away from the news these days because you know who's in office, and it's just, oh my goodness. And then you hear the podcasts from these folks talking about, oh well, you shouldn't be eating that type of food ever. Eat this instead. And then it's like years later, oh well, that food turns out to be bad, and they just pretty much sponsor it. It's like, who and what can you really trust? And it's interesting because an elder was talking about this, saying like, who can you trust? What can we actually do without having to be concerned if we're going to live or die because of the fact that someone that we thought we could trust turns out we can't even trust anymore? It's just, I don't know. I just miss the old days of restaurants where, yeah, we knew this stuff wasn't like something that you could eat every day, but it was something that we knew that was edible and wouldn't kill us over time. It's just, when you look back, it's like, I don't really know. Were we desensitized in the 90s to think that everything was just so good, when in reality, the cartoons were just trying to warn us about what these corporations were doing behind closed doors, along with their governments? I would say yes, but to me, I just feel like a lot of people were just happier back then. Was that just my point of view of it? But even folks from of Gen Z and Alpha agree, like, yeah, y'all seem to be really happy back then. Because we didn't have all these distractions. We didn't have to worry about all this. Back in my day, our biggest concerns when it came to popularity, when it came to being in certain parties or dealing with school, we had a way out, and that was our home and being with friends that cared about us. Now, we can't get away from that crap because it's on social media. It's everywhere on the billboards, even more than ever. It's in VR chat. It's in video games. It's in magazines. It's even worse than before. This whole social norm of you should be like this and you should accept this, or you are our enemy. It's just, I miss the days where if you met someone from the LGBTQ, plus or LGBTQ, right? And you said the words, I can still like you and respect you, but I don't like what you do, but we can still be friends. And people wouldn't have a hissy fit over that. And the same would go for lesbians. If they say, listen, I like you, but I don't love you, and as long as we respect each other's boundaries, I think we can make our friendship work. And trust me, I'm friends with lesbians where we pretty much have that agreement. As long as we don't do anything, perverted or whatnot, we're fine. And then, of course, there's just some that's just so far gone that, it's no wonder why they're dealing with years and years of therapy. You think I'm kidding? Look it up. It's all over on certain psychology sites and whatnot. It's honestly really, really sad when you deal with people that just hate something to a point where they end up putting themselves in this mental cage. Where am I going with all of this? I have no clue. I'm just blabbering at this point. I'll even admit that, yeah, I'm just blabbering. But yeah, oh hey beauty. Yep, there goes my dog. Want to say hi? Yeah, she's just letting me know she's fine. Leave your leg alone, beauty. It was getting better, but I don't know what's causing you to keep scratching at it. So, yeah, I will admit that was just a bunch of thoughts just, racing in my head, and I just wanted to get all that out the way. So, again, let's just go ahead and summarize all this, shall we? So it doesn't feel like that I'm some mad poem just talking, just spouting conspiracies or whatever. Like, oh my goodness, like what? So, going back, taking a break from all VR groups and activities and parties. I just don't want to be a part of it for a whole month. I need to detox. Heck, I'm even seriously just thinking about getting away from VR chat for 2 months. No, I'm not joking. 2 whole months. I'm seriously thinking about it. It's just something that really might need to be done because, yeah, and honestly, and I know what people will say, but people are going to start friending you. That's already been happening, and I'm not worried about it anymore. I don't really care anymore because my energy and time needs to be spent on, myself per se. Like it is, but not as much to where things need to be done. So that's pretty much going to be my plan. As far as TikTok goes, I can't stand the app. Every time I get on the app, I feel gross. I feel like I wasted. Even just being on the app for 5 minutes makes me feel bad about myself. Like it's just that terrible. I will want to thank TikTok, however, for actually allowing me to promote one of my videos for free. So I'll give them a thumbs up on that. They actually did something good for once. So yeah, but then there's Discord. And Discord, unfortunately, is the new email. I can't get away from Discord anymore. I can't even take a 1 month break without people worrying about my mental well-being and whatnot. I want people to understand that I do have a therapist. I have a dog that I can talk to, and I do have people that I can, interact with. So if you see me gone for 2 months or whatever from Discord, understand it's 2 reasons. And you can find out one of those reasons simply just by checking out my latest TikTok that almost has 3,000 views. Thanks again, TikTok advertising team, for allowing me to promote this video for free. And I know that's a one-time thing, so trust me when I say I appreciate it. And it's honestly just sad, just from the comments that I've seen, that a lot of people miss the whole entire point. Don't you just get tired and frustrated when you talk and people don't get it? But some big timer talks, they're like, they're just like me for real. And then I understand. One generation is talking to another generation. So to one generation to another, they completely understand. But for me talking to a new generation, it's just me speaking blah, 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 blah. To them, I'm speaking Chinese and Japanese at the same time, and their brain can't fully comprehend what I'm saying because they haven't lived it. So I can't really be frustrated if they're not from my generation, so they're not going to get it. And I don't understand what my grandpa meant when I said the saying, son, you understand, but you don't understand. I never understood what he meant by that. But he's right. I didn't live it, so I can empathize. I can say, wow, all that racism stuff, that's terrible. But until I live it, that's when I fully have a broader understanding. The thing is, I do understand Gen Z and Gen Alpha. I just don't understand why they just don't utilize their talents a lot more. I just don't understand why they have to waste time, constantly just use brain rot to get success or memes. I think that's the part that just confuses me the most. But I get it. It's because it works. It's kind of like how back in the day in the 2000s, how, we used to do a bunch of silly pranks. Remember Epic Fail? Yeah. Surprisingly, it's still popular to this day. But not as popular as TikToks, so I don't know, man. It's just some stuff to think about. It really is. So, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I have to really think hard. Food these days, just be very, very careful. I never thought the day that I had to literally talk about this, but please, please, please just be careful with these restaurants, man. I've been hearing a lot of people getting sick more often, especially from Taco Bell, getting food poisoning. It's just everywhere. Folks, it's like we were so close to everything with the restaurants going back to the way it is, but now it's just we're back to being apathetic, not caring, and getting people's orders wrong. And it's just, I don't know what anyone can do anymore with Generation Beta, Z, and Alpha. So the ones that are not like of this generation, we thank you, and all we're going to say is this to those that are listening. You have to be better than them. Do not stoop to their level of trying to be popular and just trying to get views and subscribers and all of this money just so you can look back 20 years later saying, wow, I was only popular because I reenacted memes instead of actually doing something that's worthwhile. Doing something worthwhile, as you can see, like with people like me and many others, we're not very well known. And even those with millions of views, they're not very well known. If I were to give you a name right now, somebody with millions of views that's a motivational speaker, you'll look at me and say, who? Because the market is so oversaturated. And I remember when, what was it? I think it was last night when someone gave me an idea about a game. And I just kind of was like, so I didn't want to hurt their feelings, so I just said, hey, man, you cooking. But where's the innovation? What's the story? Who's the character? Okay, here's the genre you want to work with. But where do you go from there? What's the setting? What's the plot? How is this different from other of the, the survivor horror genres that are out there? There's indie versions of it. There's AAA versions of it. So, like, what's going to be different? Can we customize our weapons? Can we do a lot more parkour than in Dying Light? Will the zombies be a lot stronger as we level up? Is there a way that you can, lose a level up, which will encourage you to not make as many mistakes? It could be a game mode after you beat the main story and campaign. How will the tutorial be? Like, these are the questions that you have to kind of, ask yourself when you're in game development. It can't just be, here's a game idea, it's going to work out well. No, you got to write this stuff out. You got to draw it out. Even if it doesn't look perfect, just do it anyway, staple it, put it in a little, under a lock and key, and then once the time comes, present it. And even if it doesn't look professional, with the drawings, act it out, show people, and have someone maybe give like some really nice detailed references for the artist and make sure you credit them and really sell your idea. If you could sell me your idea, even if I see chicken scratch and I see that you're really determined, chances are if I have my business, I would hire you and give you a chance. But to be cautious, the budget will be limited just in case that the project bombs. Projects bombing, right, is not always the fault of the creator. Sometimes people just are not interested in your product. And you could do the best job in the world with advertising and everything. It's just people, man. If their expectations for things are low, I mean, why is it that with these restaurants, we got no innovation with burgers or fries or nothing? It's because the expectations of the people are low. They don't care anymore because they feel like there's nothing else you can do with food, which is a lie. Imagination is limitless. So utilize that. Hopefully. Maybe. But yeah, just be careful with the restaurants. I know I said something about, what was it, with the lesbians or something, but that was just an example. So you can look that up for yourself. Love my lesbians, just saying. And I think there was another topic that I was going on about, but I think you all get the point. Bottom line is, I'm not burnt out, but there are certain things that I'm seeing that's just, it's just annoying. I think that's the best way to put it. It's annoying. It's just annoying. It's tiring. And that's why Jane Stephanie Sterling has to understand that it's not her. It's the people. They are just over it. They don't care anymore. And it's going to be difficult to make people care about certain things, care about their well-being, care about their health, care about their life, because they just feel hopeless. This is why I get tired of going to VR groups, because I just deal with a bunch of drones. I go and they just talk and talk and talk and talk, and it's literally starting to become as if like I'm in those RPGs where I'm just walking and it's just a bunch of people just talking about whatever, and when you try to intervene, they give you this weird look like, how how dare you, not even seeing themselves, that they're literally acting like the characters that they stated when they were young that they would never act like. How is it that we cannot see ourselves? But yeah, here I am, still being me, with my imperfections, doing the best I can in this life. And now everyone who swore and stated that they would not be these type of people are literally acting like said people. It's scary, man. The Twitch chat is scary. The stuff that I see on TikTok, man, is scary. It just scares me now because it's like everything that I joked about when I was young is coming to fruition. And now it's like we should have waited at least 10 more years before this stuff existed because we are not ready. We are not ready. We should have prepared this generation a lot better when it comes to how to deal with technology because this is a mess and this is going to take possibly, if we work fast enough, a decade or probably a century to fix. And by not fix, but mostly adjust because we're so close to pretty much being characters, supporting role actors in the sequel of They Live. And it's not going to be pretty. We're seeing this already happen in motion. I gotta ask certain rich people if I ever get the chance to meet them, which, not if, when I do get the chance to meet them, do you see yourself and replay, some of your live streams, some of your podcasts? Do you hear yourself just to make sure that you know what you're talking about? Sometimes, as much as it hurts, you have to do that. I have to do it at times just to see, like, huh. And if you say stuff like, I hate my voice, then that's a problem. You shouldn't have to hate yourself. You just learn from it. And I know some people are like, well, I don't like going back, and whatever I say, well, that just resonates with whatever. But if what you say is wrong or incorrect and it's put out there and has a million views, then you are just as big of a problem as to why this generation is lost than the next person. And people just don't want to accept that. They just want to say that everything that I say is right. But it's okay to say if everything that you say at that time was just wrong and you were just frustrated. Now, of course, with me being a perfectionist, I tried to prevent this from happening, which is why I'll say my apologies, or I'll correct myself, or I use cues like moreover or in addition and everything, because I've been doing stuff like this for a while. So I understand that what I say does indeed matter. People say this all the time. No one's watching me. No one's going to care. It's not about people watching you now that matters these days. It's about people watching you years later. Yeah. It's about people that watch you years later when you want to have that big record deal and they see that you said something silly years later and they're going to want to use that against you. Me personally, I don't get why people get this frustrated because someone made a mistake or made a tweet. But I can understand why people get, cautious because saying, well, this is going to affect my brand. But it's just this big old conundrum that just is never going to end. So it's like on one hand I see where the business is coming from, but on the other hand I see where people are coming from. And it's just always going to be this big old giant argument and fight. So, but I'm not going to lie, man. Expect me to leave more Discord servers, more VR groups, and I'm just literally just on my hands and knees begging people, if you seriously have a bone to pick with me, you can unfriend me, you can kick me from whatever group. I really don't care anymore because I'm just looking at the clock. Like literally when I was at the group that I just mentioned several minutes ago, I stared at the clock. And that's something I have not done in several decades. I have not done that in a while. I'm talking, I haven't done that since second grade, and I only did it because I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait till Friday so I can play this game and and do chores and talk with my family and spend time with my friends and read a book and stuff like that. I was a very strange kid. I actually liked doing chores. Chores, because I dealt with a lot of high anxiety, calmed me down. And so I always needed something to do to calm my stress down. Because my anxiety back then was high, dangerously high. So that's why I had to be very careful how much sugar that I would intake. Well, actually, I guess it had some part of it. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I feel like that's all I really want to say. And one more time, continue to reinvent yourself. Continue to study new language. I know there's a lot going on in the news, and I know that there's more and more legends passing away, and it's just starting to become really challenging and difficult to keep up with all of this. So I don't know. And again, going back to okay, so all those topics are done. Now on to the topic of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Don't ever do that again with making a 2-hour long credit scene where, technically speaking, that's just silly because of one or two reasons. Number one, you pretty much have not given the people any type of engagement during the credit scene. So behind the scenes, or had the new game developers talk to the old game developers that worked on past Assassin's Creed games, or even current Assassin's Creed games, or just even some words from the CEO, just something just to show that, hey, Ubisoft is trying to do better and is trying, to be the best game company. And, everything that was said, yes, it was true, but we are really just trying to move past that and do something a lot more efficiently. But instead of doing that, you just give us one of the most boring, uninteresting, the most boring, uninteresting credit scene I've ever seen for 2 hours. Who does this? On the bright side, it makes for a nice loading screen, or a BRB screen for Assassin's Creed fanatics who have a Twitch or TikTok or whatnot. So you could just say BRB and then just have some funny little animation or some GIF playing in the background, and just say, I'm taking a 2-hour nap. Enjoy the 2-hour long credit scene from Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to do that, and it's going to be hilarious. So, just got to find a video and download it. Hopefully it's not too big. Thank you, YouTube, to MP4, the sites that are still around. Oh yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. Oh yeah, and I'm going to work on some videos. I actually came up with a really funny video idea that I want to have taken care of. Oh, one last thing. I am going to be taking a break for doing collabs with anybody, and I mean this with everything in me. I believe starting in April or May, no more collabs for a month. I need a break mentally. I have tried to reach out to people over and over and over again about collabs. Barely any responses. It gets extremely tiring. So I just kind of say, you know what? No, I'm cutting this off in May or April. I'll make the decision. Because if I said it once, I'll say it again. And I'm going to go into more detail in my next, video recording that I'll play for you all. If you don't want to do something for someone, don't have them waiting in the dark. That's freaking rude. Just say, sorry, I can't. Or, I'm not interested. Or, I don't like you. Or, I don't like MLP. Okay, say I don't like you is rude, but we're in the day and age and era of Donald J. Trump, so it's you can be rude, but suffer the consequences afterwards. This generation, the generation before it, and the generation before even that generation, y'all fascinate me every single day, and I still have hope for you all, but I will always be the one that's going to critique you all, because I care about you and I love y'all so much. I really want to see more these days than just I made it and I'm successful and I'm going to flaunt my success and I donate to charity. I think we need to do a little bit more than just that these days. Don't you think? I think our founding fathers would agree. I think those who passed before us will agree. I think Akira Toriyama would agree that we need to do a little bit more than just that. 24 hours in a day, and someone tells me to watch the stream, and it's literally just me. I feel like I'm in a trance on the things that I see on this stream. And I'm not saying that my streams are better because they're not. And these streams that I see are high quality, but it's just like, what am I watching? And I only say this because just me personally, just some personal experience that I had. You have to understand something. There was a time when I was, in my 20s that I loved live streams. I love watching them. I love being a part of them. I love chatting. But now it's like it's a risk. It's a risk with you. It's a risk of your time. And it's a risk with just everything. And it just really sucks that I feel this way. Because I honestly, truly like, doing collabs and everything. But at this time, these days, in this hour, in this moment, we just have to be more and more careful what we eat, what we ingest, what we digest, what we allow to go into our eye gate and ear gate, because, man, evil forces are busy. They're a lot more busier than usual, and they definitely are attacking the youth. The things I've seen the youth been exposed to is just, we can't even say we're shocked anymore, because we're learning that, oh yeah, it's happened back then, but it was never this bad. Say what you want about old generations, but it was never this bad. You can say that. You can say that. Well, guess that's all I have to say. Go buy or play the new Bleach game. I think they fixed a lot of the issues. They're going to be releasing a patch soon. And just understand that if you are not recognized by a lot of people, count your lucky stars, because you could have just avoided a psychopath. Or worse. Yeah, man, this party's... Oh, no. No. That's that I know that screwed me over 5 years ago. Whoa. We need to stop right here, okay? Listen, if you are in anywhere, it could be a party, it could be on social media, it doesn't matter, it could be a group chat. If you are with somebody that you simply cannot stand, guess what? You have options. So I'm going to go ahead and share those options with you, okay? So you don't cause a scene just like the majority of people do, because they don't know how to deal with their anger, rage, and frustration. All right, so here are your options. Number one, you could walk away. Hey, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm just going to walk away. Now, we're going to talk about this from an IRL setting and virtual setting. Because virtual setting is pretty easy. IRL setting is pretty tough. So we're going to go ahead and just go over this right now, because a lot of y'all need a refresher. Number one, walk away. From an IRL standpoint, you can simply just walk away. You got invited to a party. You see someone that you know that doesn't like you, that's plotting against you. It is always best to just walk away. Now, if you're enjoying yourself at the party, that's fine. Just walk away. Don't even get the person eye contact. They give you eye contact with you, simply don't give them eye contact back. They smile at you, don't smile at them back. They'll get the message to leave you alone. Just do it gracefully. Don't do like, how I see other people do it. There are ways to do this. You can simply just turn your head. You can just turn your head and just focus on whatever else is in front of you. So if you're trying to get food, go get the food. Sit at the table, eat your food. If you go dance for a little bit, and then afterwards just leave. Now, again, I'm just using a party, for example. This could be at an outing. It could be at the gym or whatnot. Focus on you. Number one, Get away from the person, focus on you. They can do whatever they want, just as long as they're not violating any rules of the establishment or the law. You cannot exile a person for life. You got to deal with them. They're going to be with you. You're going to see them, even though they broke your heart, even though they jacked you up, even though they've done some of the most heinous things to you. As long as they're not saying anything to you, as long as they're not violating your boundaries, and as long as they understand that you two are through and you're just strangers, then that's all you can do. Now, if they start coming to you and start starting anything with you and you are at peace, then I'm going to give you the second tip. If they approach you, you simply need to say, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. Or who are you? That's one way to destroy someone's ego. Just say, I'm sorry. Who are you? And you don't have to say, I'm sorry. I'm just like, excuse me, but who are you? You could even state, I have short-term memory loss, or I have long-term memory loss. You could say any of this. And they try to do everything that they can to harass you. Simply say nothing, and they will be the one that looks like the bad person. Someone's going to come up to them. They're going to tell them, hey, you need to leave this person alone. They said they don't know you. Stop bothering them. And guess what? And if the person persists, then guess who's going to get called? The police. And trust me, they don't want to deal with the police, so they're going to leave you alone. Silence is the best answer if someone ignores you. And simply give them eye contact saying, excuse me, who are you? It's a way to send a message to that person that they don't bother you and they don't phase you anymore. Even if you do remember them, even if you're on the verge of wanting to smack this person, I'm going to give you tip number 3. Do not put your hands on them, okay? This is not the boys, and I understand that in a way, especially with how advanced science can be, that technically we are close to pretty much living in that type of verse, but even if that was the case, do not put your hands on them. Simply walk away. Simply walk away and be silent. Say, excuse me, who are you? And be silent. It is very powerful. Very powerful. Now, in the case of if, you see someone and they just don't want to talk to you anymore and you try to mess them with stuff, I'm going to give you the same advice. You got to act like they don't exist. You have to just let them move on. Now, if they come to you and they want to talk to you and they want to explain themselves, that's fine. But if it's something serious, you have to see that same person, walk away, be silent. They approach you, say, excuse me, who are you? And that's it. And don't say nothing else. Because if you say anything else, you're going to instigate them and probably cause an argument or worse, a fight. So those are your 2 tips. Now, that's for IRL. Now, in a virtual setting, it's simple. You can block them, you can mute them, or you can simply just get out of the situation. Now, if you're in their turf, if you are in their little instance or their group, you can't do that. You simply just get the heck up out of there. You leave. You don't even say anything. I don't care if your best friend from 1984 is there and they like their music and their art, whatever they're doing. They got 6 billion, views. Get the heck away from that person. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to, answer any messages that say, is everything okay? You just simply get yourself out of that danger zone and walk away, okay? Whether it be they messed up with you or you messed up with them, set your boundaries and just walk away from the person. Don't even interact with them. Even if you see them, they're doing well. Be happy for them and move on and focus on what you need to do. Don't let a person who hurt you or the mistakes that you made with that person stop you from living your best life. So I just gave you a bunch of tips of what to do. But it seems to me that when it comes to VR chat, it's the worst. So I'm going to give you some tips how to deal with this. If you get invited to someone's group and you recognize a person that you simply do not like, let's go back to tip number 1. You just walk away. Don't even bother. And if that person's associated with that individual and you two are still good friends and y'all set the boundary that as long as you don't see that person, have to deal with them, y'all can still be cool, then all right. Then y'all can set that. But me personally, I will walk away and just don't look back. Anyone that's willing to take the side of someone else that because, oh, well, that's my bestie, even though they did something wrong, you might want to question that person. Now, they may have valid reasons, and they can't give a valid reason, then you have to make the choice. Simply walk away or just give that person a break. You have to let people, immature people, grow and mature on their own when it comes to that, okay? Now, number two, like I said, it's easy to mute, block, and all that stuff. You can do that. In real life, you can't do that. But if they approach you, you take the same step. Excuse me, who are you? And they will walk away. It's VR. They will just walk away. Now, if they're starting something with you, you need to leave immediately. Don't get in their face. Don't try to argue with them because you never know who is recording for their little YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers, just ready to expose you and make you look like the bad person. If they call you out and say you did some of the most heinous stuff, be very silent. Let them feel like they won, okay? Let them feel like they won. Don't say nothing. Silence is powerful. Eye contact and silence is powerful. If you dare try to say something at the heat of the moment, you're going to slip up your words, and that YouTuber that's recording you is going to make it seem like that you are the worst person ever. Be silent and just walk away. And let them feel like they won. You have to make them feel like they won, because why waste your energy on someone who was never anything to you to begin with? And trust me, if it's any rumor, it's just gonna blow over anyway. And let's just say this set person just did like a Kendrick Lamar and just blew it up and tries to humiliate you. Do not react. Do not respond. I'm gonna say this one more time, and you better write this down. Do not react. Do not respond. If you react and respond, then you are showing that you are guilty of whatever that person's saying. But if you do not react and respond, it's going to make that person look silly and make them look like the liar. Silence is powerful. So, well, what if they harass me? What if they tell other friends to unfriend? Then they weren't your friends. Let me say this one more time. Then they weren't your friends. I'm going to say this as loud as I can. They weren't your friends! There you go. If they easily just switch sides like that, they were not your friends. If you didn't do anything wrong, and they're spreading rumors about you, and you're in the right, and they do mass bans on you from multiple groups that you're in, they start kicking you, then those people never cared about you. They weren't your friends. They showed their true colors. Get over it. If they mass ban you, man, let them mass ban you. Now, this happens IRL. They mass ban you, let them mass ban you. The truth will come out, and all those people that did that are going to apologize, and you'll live life as normal. You have to be patient. So step number 3 is if everything hits the fan and that person is starting to mess with you, stay silent, stay vigilant, stay calm, be truthful, and that's it. That's how you deal with people who want to start nonsense and mess with you. This is how you win when it comes to dealing with big VTubers and streamers and even just Hollywood stars, whatever. Your silence and simply saying, I'm sorry, who are you? When they try to constantly harass you is one of the biggest ways to win. Do not react and do not respond if they dare try to send any type of rumors to you. Screenshot, document, and there you go. And if you have to follow a restraining order or whatnot against that person, then that's what you have to do. But guess what? Guess why you're going to win? Because let's just say if it goes that far, because all the judge is going to pretty much say is, you did not respond, you did not react. It seems like you're the one that constantly keeps messing with this person, harassing this person. So then you can file for harassment charges because you kept quiet and you didn't say anything. I keep telling people this. Your silence means more than just someone that's constantly just barking. Listen, if someone is that petty to run that little mistake that you made and try to ruin you, follow these tips, follow these steps, and you are going to end up being the one that looks like the good guy, and they're the ones going to looking like the bad, psychotic villain. That's how you win. Your silence and not getting angry. It's going to confuse people. It's going to confuse their friends. And they're going to be like, huh, this person's telling the truth. They're telling the truth. So it's going to make the person that's always trying to, I got to be right. I got to do all of this. They're doing extra, and they're the ones who are going to look like a fool. So those are my 3 tips, man. And again, really consider just walking away, just getting away from that person, because you don't know what type of secrets may come out about that person, because there's always someone that has some dirt on somebody. You may meet the right person, they may say, oh yeah, that person, I remember when I used to date them and they treat me like this. And you're going to be like, whoo, I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. So understand that life has a way of working itself out. If you have been around a certain person and they, from day one, start treating you unfairly, chances are that they are going to treat you unfairly throughout the remainder of your quote unquote friendship. True friends do not get mad at people over petty nonsense. They talk it out and they move on. That's how it works, okay? So there you go. I deal with people all the time that I simply do not like. Heck, I was in a server with someone who banned me from their streams, and I don't even know this person, I haven't met this person, haven't even interacted with this person. And guess what I do when I see that person? I walk away. I don't approach that person. If I see them in VR, I do not approach that person. I don't go and bother my way of blocking them or reporting them or muting them or nothing. I just simply walk away. They don't know me. I don't know them. And we're going to keep it that way. That's how it's supposed to work. You're going to deal with people who hate you for the dumbest of reasons. Let them walk. Seriously, your life is so much more important, and your life should not be dedicated to if someone cares, about what you did 10 years ago or a week ago. As long as you owned up to what you did, you apologize, and if that person continues to do what they do, spreading all that about you, and it caused you to get banned, guess what? Now you know who's the truly immature individual in the situation, because here you are trying to move on, here they are trying to start mess. And you're going to win. You're going to win every single time. And guess what? All it's showing when they do that is who was fake from the beginning. That's all it shows. But if you try to retaliate and try to get back with people and whatnot, it always backfires. The moment someone bans you and blocks you, take the L. Even if you did nothing wrong, take the L, walk away, and take it with pride. Take it with pride, because if anyone is willing to go through all of that trouble to get you in trouble, then that means, and if you're a good person, then that means they fear you. They fear you. Because only a punk goes that far to do what they do instead of talking things out. So just remember that. If people want to go that far, they fear you. And you got them. You got them right where you want them, and they live in your head rent free. So you live in their head rent free. So you got them. So every time they see you, they're going to run because they're scared of you. So guess what? You got them. You're going to lose if you constantly keep, trying to pursue what they did was wrong. Yes, what they did was wrong. Now, if it's vice versa, yes, what you did was wrong. You're trying to apologize. Stop. You got to let people live their life and put whatever boundaries they want. They will grow up. I've never met a 90-year-old who held a grudge. People grow up and people learn from their mistakes. And people learn from their immaturity. I assure you, that person that you think that hates you, they're going to get older. They may deal with a near-death experience. And that same person, when that happens, is going to find you. And when they try to find you and try to make things right, you've already moved on and doing better with your life. You've already forgiven them, and they're the ones trying to make things right with you, even though you moved on. That's why a lot of people can't stand me, because that's just how I am. People do me wrong all the time. I forgive them. I don't plot against them. I don't spread no rumors about them. I may say stuff like, man, I remember when someone did this to me, and this is how it made me feel, but I will never, ever state somebody's name. Ever. Because it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of that person's time. So it's always best just to practice being anonymous when you talk about certain things that happen, because you're going to see these people again, and these people may be at your favorite con, or they may just happen to appear at a party of yours, and you want to know how you're really going to win when you happen to treat said person with dignity and respect, even though they treat you like dirt. That's going to confuse that person. That person is going to be all scared, thinking, they're setting me up. They're setting me up. And when they see that you've moved on, and you've already forgiven them, and you're still cool with your friend, even though they're friends with someone that absolutely hates your guts, again, as long as that person does not put their hands on you or violate any laws, there is nothing you can do. The scary and sad thing about social media is that we have learned that you can just block and mute people, and that's the end of it. Sometimes you just have to either A, ignore, or B, confront them correctly, and they'll stop. Some people are just so bored and so depressed that they just want a response. And if you can't give it to them, they go nuts. They go nuts. If you ever want to see just how much big stars really need the people more than they think that they don't, go to one of their concerts and stay silent for 5 minutes. Watch their reaction. If they love themselves, they will still talk about how much they appreciate people and still keep going, whether if it's in silence. There should be a day where it's called Silent Day, where all the big, well-known streamers and whatnot get the same treatment that us small folks get. Nothing. 0 views, 0 anything. Or they're all the views, but there's no comments. Watch how they react. Watch how they start getting scared. And now you'll see their true colors, their true self-esteem. See, the reason why I can still be grateful and loving when I have nothing versus when I do have something, because I was used to having days and even weeks and even months of going without having nothing. So that 1 viewer, I appreciate them. That 20 viewers, I appreciate them. I don't need 20,000 viewers to prove my point. It's great, but 20,000 viewers is 20,000 viewers. 20,000 viewers doesn't mean that all 20,000 viewers are going to support me. You can have 1 million viewers, but only 5,000 support you. Sorry, that's just the truth. Let these folks actually start showing you the numbers. And then you'll see how big their ego just immediately deflates. It's just really interesting to me how people, instead of just, with all the millions of incidents that happen in this world, dealing with murder and rape and worse, we still find ways to hurt one another and be unforgiving. It blows me away. We just don't learn. We're hard-headed when it comes to this. We are just hard-headed. And that's why I lived, not now, but for it's been like an on and on process with me ever since I was born. I was always taught to forgive. I was always taught to show love. It was just, again, this was a repetitive teaching pattern throughout when I was young. My mother and father, even though my father and mother were, separated, and my grandma, my grandpa, and those that happened to know me, they wanted to instill as much knowledge and goodwill in me as much as they could, because they knew how jacked up and cruel this world was going to be and end up being years later. They prepared me for all of this. And you know what? A lot of people always tell me, Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep talking? People don't care. And I always respond to them respectfully saying, I'm talking to those that do care. Because the world ain't that cruel. The world is not that lost. Somebody's listening. Somebody still has 2 functioning ears or 1 functioning ear. Somebody can still walk. Somebody can still crawl if they need to. Somebody still has arms. Or maybe they don't have their hand, but they have a hand. Somebody has a fully functioning brain. Maybe parts of it is damaged due to all the drugs, they have intake, they input to their body, but somebody's listening. Can you imagine how much better streaming would be if folks could be entertaining but have moments where they would educate one another? Days where you're entertaining, days where we just educate and helping one another. No. We can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that. No. That's a perfect world. That's a perfect world. Let's keep the world stupid. Let's keep the world hating. Let's keep the world constantly being mad at people that ain't even mad at them anymore. Let's deceive them. It's too easy. No. Let's do that. Let's keep them trapped. So that way we can do what we do behind the scenes. Use their tragedy for profit. And that's why I tell people, if someone is done with you, they hate you, don't go after them, don't go looking for them, don't even try refriending them, or friend them again, just walk. Just walk, man. 8 billion people. And the quote that I told my dear friend, I'm not going to say his IRL name, but I will say this. There are billions of people in the world. You're going to deal with billions of good people and billions of bad people. Keep searching. You will find the right people. Keep searching. If it didn't work out in your childhood, keep searching. If it didn't work out in your teenagehood, keep searching. I promise you, somewhere in your adulthood or even when you're elder, you will find the right people. You got to keep searching. You got to keep searching, keep searching, keep searching, keep searching. But in order to search, you have to forgive everyone that's hurt you or done the worst to you. So you can search so that way those people that do want to be in your life will want to be around you, because the people that are around you have also been hurt and have also had vengeful thoughts and have also had moments where they wanted to beat somebody up, but then they had to get on their knees and meditate. They had to do whatever they could. They had to call to the heavens to get all that anger, that frustration, that impurity out of them. You do not want to live a life where a person has their finger wrapped around your destiny, all because of the fact that they hurt you and now they have all this control over you. Forgive and watch that little string that they have attached to your neck break. So then, once you've forgiven them, they have no power over you. So now, when they try to face you, they can't. They can't face you. Do you want to know what scares a bully more than standing up to them? More than actually winning a fight against them? Try to avoid the second option. It's when you don't react to them. When you give them that look and you don't react to them. That scares them. When they see that, they can't scare, you can't be scared anymore. That scares them because they need that power. And if you don't give them that power, they get scared. Look at all these big corporations crumbling and falling, losing billions of dollars because the people stood up. So that's how you deal with people that you don't like. That's how you deal with them. I don't know if I'm missing any steps or what, but that's the best way to deal with them. No one should have that much control and power over you. Now, let me go ahead and give a side topic, because this is going to shock a lot of people. others, expect nothing. If you give that person $50, you're not getting it back. If you give that person full body tracking, you're not getting a reward. If you shout somebody out and you give that streamer 60 tier 3 subs, you're not getting another thank you. If you write one of the greatest songs, what if songs for your favorite anime producer, you'll be lucky if they show any gratitude and see what you did. Give, expect nothing. When you have this attitude, you will be able to get a lot done and you'll be able to move forward even further. When you do and don't expect, the reward is greater when you do get a response. And when you do get a thank you, people don't owe you nothing. But you can still be the brighter example. This generation is teaching one another, do and take. Or don't, no, I'm sorry. They're teaching this generation you can do two things. You can do and take, or don't do, but take. That's wrong. It's called you do and you give. Give and do. Do and give and do. They ain't teaching them that. They're teaching them be a dog, be mean, be cold, be cruel. That's what they're teaching the youth. Wanna know why there's so many mean youth? That's why, because they're teaching them that. They're teaching them to be mean, they're teaching them to be cruel, they're teaching them to be unforgiving. They're teaching them that. That's what they're teaching them. They're teaching them to be unforgiving. Why is the world in so much chaos and war? That's why, because they're teaching them this. This is normal. This is how it's in our blood. You know, like the song, it's the only thing I'll never know. Well, yeah. There will be blood, death. You know, I think the other lyrics, Memories of the Undead, I know I got that wrong. The only one, something, and then something about this and what they take. There will be blood, death. It's the only thing I'd ever know. One of the most powerful sayings is train up a child. Why they say child? Because children don't know any better. I keep telling folks this when they encounter them on social media. They don't know any better. You're getting mad at them. You exile them. They don't know any better. That 5-year-old don't know any better. You'll be lucky if they know how to read a chapter book. They're innocent. Even when they, listen, even if they don't act innocent, there's no such thing as a devil child. Just devilish parents. How you gonna call a child a devil or a demon or a hell spawn? They don't know any better. They're just copying. All they're doing is just copying. They do not know any better. I don't care if that 5-year-old says I knew what I was doing. No, they don't. I don't care if it's been proven that they knew what they were doing. No, they don't. Maybe they do, but they don't have the understanding comprehension. Oh, well, it's been proven that they do. But I guarantee you, when they get much older, and you asking the right question, that psychopathic kid, they're gonna look back and be like, at that moment, I thought I knew, but I really didn't. You gotta understand something, man. We used to praise these geniuses. We used to admire them, but now we're learning that these geniuses are only that in that specific area. Introduce them to anything else, they crumble. One kid used to ask this, and I remember a lot of people got offended. So you're a genius, that means you know everything. No. Only in that area they're a genius. So now when you hear the word genius, people just don't even marvel at it anymore. They're like, hey, that's good. Can you be a genius in something else? That's good that you solved a cure for this disease. Can you solve a cure for 2 more? Be forgiving. Move forward. I don't care if that person was wrong. You have to move forward. I deal with so many folks that are unforgiving. I'm still mad at this person. I want to tell them, grow up. You want to know why I don't say anything? Because they won't listen. One friend of mine, all they would talk to me about was this and this, how they mad at this person. And I wanted to say so bad, how long are you going to continue to be unforgiving? And I already know the answer is going to be, until I'm dead. I'm like, okay. You know, I sent you this, I sent you a request and all of that stuff. And I looked at that person and I said, in the back of my mind, you're going to keep waiting. Because until you can show me that you can forgive people and stop acting like that they are the ones who hurted you instead of you hurted them, you can forget it. And I look at that person like, you lucky that you even on my friends list. See, when you're taught to be so loving and caring and forgiving, it can also backfire on you when you deal with people who are just straight up mean and evil. And they can't see themselves because they always got to be in the right. Always got to be in the right. They can never be wrong. And that's why I say you have to forgive people, because you're going to deal with folks that may hate you until their deathbed. Their loss, their pain, their suffering. Don't be like that. I remember when I said when I was very young, I would not go to my father's funeral. I remember when my mother clapped back and told me, you need to repent. You need to repent. Don't say that again. That's why when I hear these folks say all these edgy stuff about people, I look at them like, I've been there. I said the same thing, probably even worse than you. And in the moment when I actually type what I said, they look at me like I'm crazy. I don't feel that way ever since, my mother said that. And you want to know how I was able to be so forgiving towards my father, even though I told myself I can, and I will, and I've been taught it? It's because I got to see it. My mother showing love and forgiveness towards my father, no matter how much it hurted her, no matter how much she wanted to smack him, she was the bigger person for me. I'll never forget that. And I always thanked her for that. And I know it was painful and I know it hurt. But I will always thank her for that. And vice versa, I will always thank my father for being the bigger person, for taking the punches, even though he was wrong and he wanted to lash out. He never did. Screw Mothers and Father's Day. Happy Mother, Father Year. Grandmother, Grandfather Year. Why we gotta have a day? We need to make it a yearly event. These mothers and fathers, they sacrifice so much for us. We look at our bank accounts and be like, man, what happened? And here they are sacrificing, having days where they barely eat 3 meals a day. Women's Day, Women's Month. That's what I'm saying. Society's jacked up. Society changes. It conforms. That's why elders would tell us to not conform to the world. Because when you conform to the world, they got you. They can mold you and do whatever they want with you. That's all I got to say. Please, y'all got to practice forgiveness. You don't want to be the person that when you see that person, all you want to do is suck them in their throat, stomp on their head, and just constantly keep reminding them of all what they did to you. Because the worst thing that could ever happen to you is when you get older, more mature, and then your son, because you made a mistake, did that to you, that's when you're going to feel it. That's when you're going to feel it, when your son or your daughter does it to you. Or when your son and daughter, after you raised them right, and they say, I transitioned, I did that to spite you. I'm telling you, that's when you're going to feel it. You got to be careful how you treat folks. You got to be careful how you talk to people. Listen, I deal with some ignorant individuals. But I also have to remember that I am also ignorant in areas too. See, that's the thing. We get mad at people. We get mad. We get frustrated, but we forget. Hold on. Wait a minute. I was like this too. That's why I never understand a world that's so unforgiving. Every time I hear President Donald J. Trump, just unforgiveness, and the people, he's just like me, bro, because you're so unforgiving. So of course he's just like you for real. He's the personification of America. He's everything that y'all all wanted and then some. It's no wonder why America is so jacked up for all these years, because y'all finally got what y'all wanted. Like little kids cheering for their favorite character in a TV show. And this is real life. Yesterday, I know I was going to talk about my work if I have to. Yesterday, I dealt with so many people that hit me with complaints. One of them which came to me, and this person had the nerve to wear that little necklace with the cross, smiling all big. And I'm looking at this individual, this God lover, like, you know better. You know the rules. Why in the world would you do this? Standing here like something was going to change. Listen, God may be with you, but you still got to follow rules like everybody else. Follow the laws of the land. That's what I'm saying, man. So, I deal with this individual. I deal with this this lady, and she was in a wheelchair, barefoot. It's raining. It's just a mess. And she's saying, "Please help me. I'm homeless." So I'm over here trying to get some information, a name. I'm just trying to get something. Then I asked, "Could you at least tell me a little bit what happened?" Do I have to? And I'm looking at her like, I already know what happened to you. I can tell you probably got beat up, jacked up, thrown out the house. Either you did something or they did something, and you're just a victim of a crime. Whatever happened, I already can pretty much pinpoint and make some educated guesses. But you want to act like that this event that happened to you was so terrible, and it is, that you can't even at least give me a sentence, a word. You can't draw it out. So after I got the information, I was like, okay, I tried to call my supervisor. My supervisor was busy. I needed my supervisor's help. But they were too busy dealing with this one individual who's causing a ruckus in the building. So I pulled my pants up and I had to, figuratively speaking, and I took care of my business. I talked to her, I calmed her down. I went to my lunchbox. There was barely anything in my lunch because I forgot to pack a lot of food. That was my fault, my choice. Gave her a water bottle and 2 oranges. She thanked me. I gave her the number, and then she says, my phone doesn't work. My phone needs to be charged. And I was like, oh my goodness. I couldn't just have her just charge the phone. Me personally, I would have, but I couldn't. Rules are rules. She didn't have her ID. She couldn't even tell me who she was. She said that her ID was stolen. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I was just put in a bad predicament where I could get in trouble. So I just said, look, just call this number. Find someone that can at least give you their phone and make the call. So I did that. And then someone comes up talking about, should nobody be out there? And I'm like, I just got here. And I'm dealing with 1, 2, 3 complaints. A supervisor is too busy to help me. Not their fault. And it was just frustrating. So then one of the residents decided to bring this person in saying that's my visitor. And I'm like, they're smart. And I literally just like, just this one time, go ahead. And after all of that, staying for almost an hour, being able to charge their phone, because the smart thing that I would have done personally was walked away from the building, grabbed the phone, charged it, said that's my phone. I wouldn't have cared, honestly. And then after that hour or whatever, grabbed the phone and said I'll be right back, walked away from the building, gave him the phone, had the numbers, and there you go. I wouldn't have known. The job that I worked for wouldn't have known. And she would have been fine. But they had to make a whole scene about it. And the words that she said was, after all of that, she says, thank you. I got housed at some shelter across the street. You could have told me that. I was livid. I had to hold myself back. I was livid because I was like, that's how you treat someone who gave you part of their lunch to you? Who literally took a risk with their job? That's how you treat somebody. But you know God, and that's how you treat someone. I mean, I felt like the hair strands stick up to from my hair and I was like, I've never been disrespected like that in my entire life so far. And it taught me a lot. But I forgave her and I moved on. Now imagine if I held that anger and bitterness in me because of what she said. And I understand her situation was bad. But some things you keep to yourself. What I didn't have to do. I could have been like everybody else saying, you got to get out. I gave her part of my lunch so she could have something to eat so she wouldn't starve. 2 oranges and wine. I know that's not a lot, but there wasn't barely anything in my lunchbox. I mean, wow. And she says, well, I got a house across the street. I'm like, and because they look at me because I'm at the front, they say, I'm supposed to know where all of these shelters are. I didn't even know there was a shelter across the street. Because if I would have known that, I would have gladly gave her the number. I was like, really? So yeah. But I chose to forgive. I took a deep breath. And I went on my day. Folks, that takes practice. That is not something that happens overnight. I've had moments when I was young where I lost my cool because I looked at that person like they were the biggest piece of garbage I ever met and I wanted to stomp their face in. The thoughts that I had when I was young was scare people because I was the type of person that couldn't stand people who did wrong. I couldn't stand it. It made me angry. Violently angry. And I had to go through a doctor and everything else to get my anger under control. Because I saw my mother get hurt and people get hurt and all of that accumulated and it would cause me to be violently angry. When I see People get bullied. I want to beat them up. Army man style. You have no idea. I want to beat them down Army man style. Well, back in the day, it was Vegeta style. And not stop. So when these folks tell me and talk to me about whatever, I look at them like, you have no idea the type of person that I used to be and how I'm doing everything in my power to not A, tell you off, B, not make your life a living nightmare. That's practice. That's because I was trained and I had to learn how to forgive. That doesn't happen overnight. That doesn't happen within a year. That took me years to get that. So when I see this world still falling in the same pattern, it's no wonder why there's so much violence being displayed. It's no wonder why when I listen to certain people in podcasts, I hear the truth, but within that truth, I hear something else. That's why I said it's not worth it sometimes. Some people you just gotta leave them be. When you look at a person and they say the most hurtful things to you, you can't take it personal. That person hates themselves. I dealt with a situation with a streamer and they hated themselves to the nth degree. And they do a great job lying and showing to people how much they don't hate themselves. But I was able to see it a mile away. So when I look at people and I see the things that I see, it makes me laugh. Because I'm like, man, I'm so glad I'm not like them. For someone to deal with so much in their life and they write a book saying, I'm glad my mom is dead. And honestly, when you read the book, it's understanding of why they would say something like that. But me, I don't care what a person has done to me. I could never bring those words out of my mouth. I've dealt with a lot of people that were low down and mean and dirty and nasty to me, wish the worst of me. That's why when I see that people block and ban and kick me and have me do whatever, I don't let it faze me. Because I know what my words can do to people. See it. And I have to be very careful. Just like words can have their words can have an effect on me. What I could say back to them could have a twice effect on them. So the whole thing of, oh, I'm gonna clap back, it could have a damaging effect to them. That's what I'm saying. See, that's how I was when I was young. They want to hurt me. I want to damage. I want to hurt their feelings so bad that they will never even think of disrespecting me again. That's how we were taught in the 90s. They hit you hard, hit them harder. And you only do that with people that you never want to see again. But I've learned, why even bother? Why even bother? So people, and I know I'm pretty much just going on a side topic here, but this is connected. Sometimes I look at people and I say, there are times that I look and I say, I'm glad that we never were friends to begin with. But then I also have to look at the fact that that person probably felt the same way about me. people don't want to hang around you anymore, please set them free. Please set them free. If a person violates your trust more than once, stop talking to them. If you are someone that cuts people loose because of one mistake, there's something mentally wrong with you. I'm not going to be nice about it because we are dealing with an administration that encourages that type of behavior. You don't like it, it goes against what a book says, go after and kill it. And it's just backwards. It's so backwards. Sometimes I always wonder, am I a ghost to people when I talk? Do they even hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? This is how I used to think when I was 20 years old, because I started to get tired. Because I kept thinking to myself, they should just get it already. They should just get it. As you get older, you'll learn. I know people get tired of me saying this, but people take time. And a lot of people look at me and they say, don't you get tired of talking? And I look at them and I say, yes, I do. Back then I say, no, I don't, because I'm going to keep fighting and being a freedom. I get tired. That's why I keep my distance away from a lot of people. That's why the people that I used to talk to, I stopped talking to them. I give them a break. When people tell me one time to F off, I say, hold that fire, I'll see you in a month. Because I don't deal with that type of disrespect from anybody. And then people, that's why when people around me, they're careful with their words because they know that if they disrespect me, I'll still love them, but I won't be far away from them. Because I don't have time for that. I deal with disrespect at my job. 4 to 12, Saturday and Sunday. I'm not dealing with disrespect throughout the weekday. And I'll say the same thing when I finally get my career in psychology. I deal with disrespect during this time. Afterwards, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with, oh, no. I'm going to tell you straight, who are you talking to? That's what you're going to hear from me. Life isn't sad. People just make it sad. Your choices make it sad. And dealing with situations like this where a person you can't stand can rule over your life. If I ever deal with anyone talking about they can't stand a person, I don't care if that same person that they're talking about did some of the lowest things to me. I'm keeping my distance from you because I don't have time to have that type of hatred in my heart anymore. If I see that person, they don't exist to me, but I will wish them the best. You can't keep living your life on what a person did for you and what they did to you. Show love unconditionally with no excuses and no reason to. And you will be more free than ever before. Sometimes it just has to come naturally. Here's $5. Take it. Have a good day. Don't give it back. Don't try to find me. Here's this $10. Take it. Don't you dare pay me back. When you get older, you'll have those intuitions. You'll know who to do it for. And then you'll be shocked when even a week or so later you get paid back 10 times by some stranger that you never met in your life. They come to your live stream and all of a sudden this person, here's $200. Have a good day. It's happened before where I mind my own business and someone just donated just out of the blue. I don't know these folks. Here you go. Have a good day. And just walked away. Never seen them again. You have to do right by people. Yes, it may seem like that certain people who are big and successful get more money than you. But if you continue to focus on you and you continue to do the right thing, when you least expect it, all of what you've done is going to come back to you in this big old I owe you package. It's going to land at your front door and you're going to be like, what in the world is this? I've seen it happen. Worker that's been there for 40 years. Never got the respect that she deserves. And then it's like not even a month later, some kid recognized what she did. Was proud of how she was just so nice and helped people and everything. Threw the biggest party for her and helped her win a trip to Hawaii or whatever. Those stories exist, but the news media don't want you to know those type of stories. They want you to stay stuck in what this administration is doing, what the government. They want you to be stuck. They want you to be angry. They want you to be frustrated. They want you to be distracted. That's why the commercials that you see, they're not uplifting. They're talking about buy. Oh, it was bad and nice, but it's worse now because now those a lot of things are AI generated. Buy this, buy that, buy this new phone, buy this new video game, buy this, buy. Just buy. Be more in debt. Buy. Let me tell you something on why being unforgiving is terrible. Because if you're ever in a situation and you happen to meet that same person that hurt you and it's years later and that person is your doctor or whatnot and that person happens to find you and wants to apologize to you, say, I've been trying to get in contact with you for years and I want to say I'm so sorry. Can you please forgive me? I want to make sure that you get the best insurance. Please, this is on me. The operation is free. That's what I'm saying. Stop being so unforgiving.
Whew, wow. I had to pause that for a moment. I said, holy crud. Whew. I was speaking some truth. You ever listen to yourself and you're just like, man, I was speaking some truth. But y'all gonna have to listen to the rest of it later, because there's only 46 minutes left of it, and I really have to get going. So to everyone that stayed, thank you. To those that lurked, thank you. For those who dropped by just to say hi, and also I was having a little pause and who's event, and surprisingly, it turned out pretty good. Turned out really good. I had some folks come. Just see how I was doing, and gotta say, but anyway, y'all have a good one. Be safe. I may stream a little bit later. Who knows? No guarantee. But I just had to, get some stuff taken care of, checking my dog, and and eat. So, alrighty. Well, take care, and hopefully the 2-hour long credit scene. Yep, done. 2-hour long credit scene. Wow. So I want to thank everyone for working on Assassin's Creed Shadows, but Ubisoft, please do a better job with that. Like, come on. Seriously. We do not have time for laziness. But yeah, y'all take care and continue the reinvention process. Go work on some stuff now.